going to be doing a series soon on property investment. Not that I am the world's best property investor. I have to say I've made more than my fair share of mistakes in this area, but I'm still learning, and I'm hoping I'm going to get better. But I'm going to go through a bit around the process, because I think sometimes if you understand what the process looks like, then you're more likely to make sure that you're putting in the right detail, the right information along the way. And I think the first thing, and this is quite common across most life coaching and business coaching skills, the first thing everyone needs to have in place is a dream, a goal, an objective, something you need to achieve. The next step is you need a plan that's going to get you there. So you need to have a plan that you can follow. And the third step is obviously the execution of the plan, to make sure that you're actually doing what you need to do to get to your dream goal or objective. So that involves things like even reviewing the execution strategy from time to time, because you might have the right dream or goal but not the right execution or the right plan, and sometimes it's around the execution itself. You might not be executing it particularly well. For example, I'm a bit of a procrastinator from time to time, and I've got to buckle down and make sure that I'm doing what I need to do. So those three key elements are going to be really important. And there's another element I'm just going to tack on the end there before I leave this, is you need a great team. When you're doing things like property investment or share investment, yes, you can go and do it yourself, and yes, you might be successful. But the reality is most people don't know what they don't know. And because you don't know what you don't know, the chances are you can make mistakes. Now, then there may be mistakes that do not cost you your investment. I'm not talking about those huge mistakes. I'm talking about the mistakes where you don't get quite the return that you could have got had you had the right people on your team. Now, you take about property investment. I'll just use this as the example. If you've got a couple of investment properties, that's roughly about $1 million worth of money invested in your business, which you've probably borrowed initially, probably close to 800,000. So you've got 200,000 in equity. This is round numbers. And if you're getting on average an 8% return on that $1 million, that's 80 grand building up a year. Imagine if you didn't buy the right investment property. It was a good one, but not the right one for you, with the money you had and everything else that you could have decided with at that point in time. And let's say your return is, say, at 5%. That's 30 grand difference a year, compounded over the life of the investment, which we'll say, for argument's sake, we'll say you may not keep the property for 30 years, but let's say you've got a 30-year horizon. 30 years times $30,000. I mean, we're now starting to talk about very big numbers. So getting your right team in place so that you make the right decision, so you don't miss out on that 3%, I'll call it 3%, that's where it can make a huge difference. Now, you don't know that before you start. All you can do is minimise the risk of missing out on that 3%. So the right team members will help you minimise that risk. They won't eliminate it for you, but they will help minimise it. And that's all you can do in any investment strategy, in any strategy in life. In fact, for that matter, is minimise the risk while you're trying to maximise your return out of what you're doing. So minimise risk, maximise return. It's been a motto that's been one of mine for many, many years, going right back to when I first started work at Arthur Andersen when I was a youngster. So with that, I'll leave you for now. Cheers.